All right, you want to know why Gen X is always angry? You want to know why we always seem PO'd all the time? Well, let me break it down for you. We loved our music, and yet we've had to replace our records with cassette tapes, and then we had to replace the cassette tapes with CDs, and then we had to change everything over to MP3, and now they expect us to pay a monthly subscription for music that we already paid for 4 times. We grew up playing outside all day, and yet now we found that we had to fight with our kids to get them off the damn screens and outsides for just 2 minutes at a time. We went from rotary phones to touch-tone phones, then to cordless phones, then to cell phones, then finally to smartphones. And each time, we had to learn a whole new way to communicate, starting from scratch every few years. Our TV experience started with just 3 channels, and then we got hundreds of cable, and then satellite, and now we have to subscribe to multiple streaming services just to watch all our favorite shows. We used to write letters and send them in the mail, and then we had to get used to email, and then texting, and now there's a dozen different apps that you have to have on your phone to keep track of to talk to different companies or people or what country someone is from. And when we wanted to do research on something, that meant using encyclopedias. You know, the big books that were always on the bottom shelf of the bookshelf. They were always on the bottom too. And then it was on the CD-ROMs. And then it was the early, slow internet, and now we're drowning in information overload from countless websites and online sources that most times that some idiot that's had too many brownies and too many drinks just goes in and screws with the info that's on there because anybody can go in and mess it up. And don't get me started on data storage. From typewriters to computers to floppy disks and CDs and USB drives, and now everything is supposed to be stored in the cloud, which again, you pay a monthly subscription service for. So yeah, we've had to adapt a lot of changes over the years, each one demanding more of our time, more money, and more learning. So yeah, it's no wonder we seem a little bit exacerbated about everything. You want to know why Gen X is always so angry? Just think about how many times we've had to relearn how to do the same thing. First, we learned how to use paper maps. Then we had to figure out MapQuest printouts. And then we had to rely on GPS apps that still send you down the wrong way and on one-way streets sometimes. We grew up with dial-up internet, waiting forever for a single web page to load. And now we're losing our minds if a video buffers for 2 seconds. I mean, we mastered the art of renting VHS tapes, then DVDs, and now we have to navigate that sea of streaming services and remember which one the movie was on that we wanted to watch. When it comes to shopping, we started with malls, and then it was catalog shopping. Then we had to figure out online shopping, and now we're expected to buy groceries online and trust someone else to pick out our produce. We learned how to balance checkbooks and then move to debit cards. And then the online banking, and now you're using mobile payment apps that randomly decide not to work when you're in line at the store. And then you got socializing. We used to meet friends at the park, then we moved to meeting at the mall, then coordinating over the phone, and now we're trying to keep up with the endless group traps, social media invites, and video calls. Even job hunting was different. We went from pounding the pavement with printed resumes to faxing them to emailing them, and now we're navigating job application portals that seem to exist just to make us rage quit our job search. And don't get me started on the parenting. We were told just be home by dark, but now you have to keep track of play dates, sports schedules, school apps, parenting blogs, things that makes us feel like you're doing everything wrong. So yeah, every time we think we've got life figured out, it changes again. So it's no wonder we have a chip on our shoulder.